Hi, my name is Brian Hauser, and I am running for the office of Oswego Township Assessor in the upcoming election April 1st. Early voting starts March 17th. I want to take this opportunity to share a few things with you that will hopefully bring some clarity about assessments and why you should vote for me. I have been noticing around town and on social media the idea that assessments are too high in Oswego Township. In 2024, we actually had almost 600, we call good sales. That's arm's length, meaning it's not under duress or sold to a family member or without being advertised. And of those 600 sales, only 20 of those sold for a price lower than what we have them assessed. So back to, are the assessments too high? No, they're not. So why don't I just lower assessments in Oswego Township? I can't lower assessments in Oswego Township unless sale prices show me that the prices need, or the assessments need to be lower. The state of Illinois, through the Department of Revenue, does what's called a sales ratio study. Not only do they do one, the county supervisor of assessments does one, and so do I. We all track it. And then they let us know how much each township has to raise their assessments every given year. So if I don't raise the assessment to what is needed, the supervisor of assessments will slap a blanket multiplier on the whole township. And if he doesn't do that, then the Department of Revenue will multiply the whole county to make up for what I don't do. So there's really no option for me to lower assessments when the property values are going up. And let's face it, don't we all want our property values to go up? And we've been noticing that to be the case for quite a few years here. So if you wanted to go to the Kendall County website, you would be able to listen to the last county board meeting, the morning meeting, where all the county board members who are there are listed. Somewhere towards the end of the tape, it does have a report from the supervisor of assessments where he tells the range that all the assessments have to go up, again, whether they're going to go up or down. And the Kendall County Supervisor of Assessments is who tells us whether our assessments go up or down. Assessments do come down from time to time. You may remember 2008 when the market of the residential market went down. We did see assessments come down. It lags a little bit because it's a 3-year study, and that's real nerdy and complicated to explain. But we did see assessments come down for 3 or 4 years in a row. But since 2014 on, the assessments have been on the rise. And that's a good thing as a property owner. Now, just because I say all assessments, or the assessments in Oswego Township are not too high, is it possible that your assessment could be too high? Absolutely, that's possible. And it happens. People call all the time. And that's one of the favorite things for me and the people at my office is to help taxpayers work through that. We point them in the right direction with websites. We send them links to all that. We help them if they've got a question filling out the forms. What they can do is go to board of review. So it's absolutely, whether you live in our township or any other township, when you think your assessment's too high, the best call to make is to talk to your assessor. We know that the assessments in Oswego Township are fair because the Department of Revenue also has another statistical study that they do, and it's called the coefficient of dispersion. So they track this number, which I'm not even going to try to explain to you because it's boring and exciting for math nerds maybe. However, this ratio is put out on their website, and what I did is put together a ranking of each year for the last 3 years, and excluding Cook County assessors' offices, because it's a whole different process in Cook County, Oswego Township has the lowest coefficient of dispersion in the state of Illinois. And there's been upwards of 600 different townships during that time frame. So are the assessments here fair? They're the fairest in the state. One thing about this job that's so tricky is the commercial assessments. You might notice that the assessments stay somewhat flat in the township on commercial. Part of that is due to the fact that we really don't have that much commercial. And in order to raise certain types of assessments, you have to have sales history to back that up. If you don't have the sales that indicate that this type of property or this type of commercial property has gone up in value, it's hard to support when you go to border review or PTAB. And ultimately, they can get their assessment lowered at either one of those levels, which then kind of undoes the increase. You can see, however, we have raised assessments back in 2019 and 2023 in the quadrennial. That's when you have the opportunity to reassess properties every 4 years. So it hasn't been completely flat. We're able to do that because through land sales, we can see, yes, indeed, land prices have gone up. However, when you raise assessments on these commercial properties, it makes it really difficult because, as you know, you see a lot of restaurants, places like that going empty, going out of business. These tenants are actually paying the taxes in many of these cases. All of a sudden, you raise the assessments, you raise the tax bills, there goes the business. Not that that's why I would do that, but that is a natural thing. And when those go empty, the assessments go down on those empty properties because without the lease, without the tenant, then the value of the real estate goes away. We don't handle exemptions at our office. The exemptions are completely handled by the supervisor of assessments. You can see it on every tax bill and every assessment notice. It talks about exemptions on the back, and you absolutely need to call them. There's a senior exemption that will help save a little bit on your tax bill. And then there's also what's called a senior freeze. And that's when the household income's below $65,000. It will actually freeze your assessment at the level it is that year. And going forward, when assessments go up, this exemption amount goes up. So you end up paying a lot less in taxes because as the assessments go up, the tax rates go down. So seniors can actually see their tax bills go down from year to year. There are also exemptions for veterans. And the veterans are usually pretty on top of it. They understand it. But if you're a veteran and you have any type of disability, I encourage you to do what you can to have that checked out too. One thing that we talk about in our office all the time is that we wish there was a way for new homeowners to be educated, or even high schoolers, for this to be taught at the high school level. Homeowners associations, I'd love to speak to a homeowners association. If you're in a real estate office and you'd like me to come talk to the realtors so they could help their clients. But there are so many people who don't understand how the assessment process works, how taxes work, and it just really is something that I wish more people had the chance to talk to us about. And so if you ever want to talk, always call the assessor's office. We kind of enjoy explaining it, not just me, but the people in the office as well. So I encourage you to give us a call. I hope this video has helped you understand assessing a little bit better. If not, please feel comfortable to give me a call so that we can talk about it. And I hope you'll come out and vote for me. And the other thing I'd ask is that you'd share this with as many of your friends as you can. Thank you.